Our site dailyyzodiac.info. Accurate horoscopes for today, tomorrow, week, month and year, as well as other predictions from the best astrologers. Welcome. Edgar Cayce predictions for 2019. Speaking about the predictions of Edgar Cayce, you must remember that the interpretation of the future, dated by specific years, he has very little. And so many willingly list his prophecies that have already come true, and when it comes to visions that have not yet come true, they reduce their interpretation to commonplaces or list all the information that is freely available. In fact, to assert that this or that prophecy will be fulfilled in this or that year, it is possible only with a certain degree of probability. And it is with this proviso that we suggest that you get acquainted with the predictions of Edgar Cayce for 2019. Human and society. In 2019, some unusual processes may occur in China. In this country, asserted the predictor, interest in Christian ideas will gradually increase. Attention to this doctrine will arise gradually. But it is people who profess it, for various reasons, will manage to get into politics and gain a foothold in it. Probably, the Chinese society is not monolithic, and in it today there are people of different faiths. But it is the politicians who adhere to the Christian faith that can eventually contribute to the fact that the Celestial Empire will gradually move into a new qualitative state of its society. Cayce called the result of all this, China will wake up. Of course, such processes do not occur suddenly, and during the next year they can even go unnoticed from the outside, but the fact that they will take place within the Chinese society is a fact. Nature of the planet. This topic Cayce paid a lot of attention. He insistently and quite specifically argued that the U.S. territory will be thoroughly shaken because of the numerous eruptions of volcanoes and earthquakes. These cataclysms will turn out to be so global that on the one hand they will change the climate and the landscape in the states themselves, and on the other they will cause a chain reaction of similar cataclysms almost all over the world. Where exactly you should expect problems of this kind in the US in 2019, it's hard to say for sure. More or less likely, one can name one of the eastern states of the country, for example, Connecticut or New York, as well as California. Seismic instability, according to Cayce, may next year touch, in addition, Japan, Northern Europe and Antarctica. Edgar Cayce predicted the eruption of Yellowstone. He also talked about this without giving specific dates, but indicated more than a certain conditional signal, cataclysms in the Etna area or the beginning of a change in the level of the bottom of the Southern Sea. About the South Sea, nothing of this is yet known, but the volcano Etna in 2015 has intensified 3 times. But there are also indirect signs. Employees of Yellowstone Park said that the animals are leaving it little by little. And this means that in Yellowstone the eruption can begin at any moment, that is for 2019 this is very likely. The predictor in his dreams saw climate change for many regions of the planet. He also mentioned Siberia in this connection, insisting that the weather conditions here will significantly soften. Of course, such processes do not occur for a short time and suddenly. However, we are already witnessing warmer Siberian winters and a shift in the frost period closer to spring. And, relying on such a forecast by Cayce, one can state with good reason, the winter of 2019 in Siberia will also be softer than before, and frost will settle later than it usually did. Geopolitics. In this regard, according to Cayce, we should not expect any negative development of events. The prophet pointed out that the Second World War is the last large-scale war in the foreseeable future of our civilization. And although the clairvoyant himself limited his visions to the 20th century, Now we already see quite accurately that he was somewhat mistaken with the terms. What he predicted in the 90s and at the beginning of the 2000s is just beginning to be fulfilled now. And this, in turn, provides guarantees that in 2019, the Third World War, there is definitely no need to fear. It is clear that the prophecies of the American clairvoyant are gradually coming true. He could make mistakes in the time frame of the execution of one or another of his visions, but was strikingly accurate in their essence. This leads to an unmistakable